we aren't playing with people that believe in abiding by the rules or the law or the Constitution. They diluted the voices of people of color. We know that they gerrymandered in this last legislative session when we actually did go through the maps.
I have a few clips of Jasmine Crockett on MSNBC discussing the illegal actions taken by Donald Trump and MAGA in hopes to remain in power. So take a moment if you can, leave us a like on the video. It lets us know you enjoy the content. It gets us out there in the algorithm, and let's get right to the discussion.
We know that they gerrymandered in this last legislative session when we actually did go through the maps. In fact, I've been engaged in litigation ever since those new maps were drawn because we know that they diluted the voices of people of color, and that's basically what they're going to do. They're going to do it again. Texas is a majority minority state, and they don't feel comfortable having to go and present their very much racist policies, the policies that people like the Proud Boys are excited about, the people like the Oath Keepers, people like, you know, we saw on January 6th, those guys. So that's what they're going to do. They are going to minimize people of color's voices, and they truly believe that by pushing their white supremacy agenda, they will be able to then secure more Republican seats.
And we can stop pretending now, right? MAGA looks exactly how they did in that Mehdi Hasan Jubilee video. The majority bigots and fascists, with the rest content with them existing in their party, so guilty by sheer association. To be anything but anti-racist is racist. Anything but anti-fascist is fascist, where this is the goal that so many in MAGA want to see enacted, the power of minorities suppressed so that the white man always holds real control. It's why MAGA laughed at us when we rung the alarm about the threat to democracy, and many still try to be smug about it today, even when the threat is so clearly in our face, because it's not their democracy that's being threatened, which is all that so many of them care about. Thus, they, again, feel as if, why not, if this gives me and my kind more power?
If Republicans are doing it, should Democrats redraw districts to their favor too? And if not, why not?
No, I'm all in, Alex. Listen, you know, we are in a crisis in this country, and I've got to tell you that Democrats have consistently held the moral high ground for good reason, regardless of the fact that one party wants to pretend that they are Christians or super Christians. The reality is that don't tell me what you are, show me what you are in your policies and what you do. And I can tell you that Democrats have consistently fought for equity in all ways, even in representation. And so that's why we do have so many states that have decided that they would have these redistricting commissions that are nonpartisan, and they try to be fair. But the reality is that we aren't playing with people that believe in abiding by the rules or the law or the Constitution.
I'm not sure how I feel about this sentiment from Democrats. My intuition tells me it's almost certainly the wrong move to stoop to their level, as it just moves the arena there permanently and erodes democracy in that way. But it's hard to understand how to combat this elsewise if Republicans are going to brazenly and publicly do it and boast about it. But if every state's governor is drawing their map in a way that gives their party the advantage, democracy is dead. And Republicans know this. That's why they've been doing it for years. State and local politics will affect you to an even greater degree than national. What we need is these nonpartisan commissions that exist in all blue states. So many blue states. I'm sure there's one or two that don't have them, but where these nonpartisan commissions create the districts. 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats, with a nonpartisan tiebreaker winning if is necessary.
I spoke with Congressman Robert Garcia, of course, newly elected ranking Democrat on House Oversight. If Democrats flip the House, he said his first investigation would be President Trump and his family. Would that also be first on your list?
I mean, listen, we're going to stand together and we are going to investigate. I don't know what is first, Alex. I mean, I can tell you that there's nothing but a treasure trove of violations of the Constitution, violations of the law in general, and overall just lawlessness and criminality. So whether we're talking about violating the Emoluments Clause and going to foreign governors and shaking them down, whether it's shaking them down for planes or whether it's shaking them down for crypto, or whether it's important to look into what he's done as it relates to these law firms and shaking them down, or as we recently saw, that we just lost Colbert, and whether we need to look look into the Paramount deal and whether or not he is just going to continue to shake down various TV agencies to the benefit of muting the voices in violation of the Constitution and the freedom of press.
I'm not really sure who Robert Garcia is or how pertinent a role he even has in the House, but if Democrats spend the entire time only going after like Trump's family and Trump personal things, I would be super disappointed. I don't think they would be any better than MAGA at that point if that's what they resorted to. I agree more so with what Jasmine said, and I hope it's like the progressive wing of the party that is running with the oversight, as it's the official actions taken by Trump that violate or threaten the Constitution that deserve the focus. It's what Democrats largely have been focusing on. I mean, like, I feel like this is something kind of like pulled out of a hat, but there's quite literally plenty of these kinds of actions to pick from violating due process to going after Harvard to all of this. I don't think that pettiness should be the goal, or stooping down to the level MAGA operates at, as tempting as it may be. We should want to bring normalcy back to the House, a la the Nancy Pelosi years. As much as I hate everything Nancy Pelosi stood for, don't get me wrong, she could direct the House. She was a solid House Speaker, and since then we've seen nothing but juvenile chaos under the Republicans that makes her look even better by comparison.